The Kion High School will remain closed until authorities in the Ministry of Education declare the facilities safe to occupy. That was the announcement by Minister of Education Sean Richards in the sitting of the National Assembly held on the 3rd of September 2019.
As a result of this extensive cleaning that is on the way at the Kion High School, the Ministry of Education conducted yet another meeting with the staff of the Kion High School on August 29, 2019 at the ICCS auditorium. At 4:30 p.m. on that same day, officials from the Ministry of Education met with the parents and guardians of students attending the school. The audiences at both meetings received the salient information from the first test carried out by the Bureau of Standards. Both audiences received the commitment of the Ministry of Education that the Kion High School will be declared safe before teachers and students are allowed to reoccupy the space at this institution. Based on this commitment, the reopening of the Kion High School for the 2019-2020 school year has been delayed.
The announcement comes just one day after schools in the Federation reopened for the 2019-2020 school year. According to the minister, a recent report from the Kion High School indicated that mold was present in the school's science labs. He said the ministry responded with haste to the reported situation. The minister's statement in Parliament indicated that samples from various parts of the school were sent to the United States for testing and results are expected shortly. Following a meeting between the ministry, teachers of the school and parents, it was agreed that the school will remain closed until it is declared safe. Glenn Bart for SKN Newsline.
First Vice Chairman of the Nevis Reformation Party, NRP, Dr. Kelvin Daly, has declared he will be contesting the parliamentary elections whenever they are called, representing the party in Nevis 9, the same constituency represented by Nevis Premier Mark Brantley.
I will be asking my party leader for us to have my launch as a candidate for Nevis 9. And of course, persons who understand Nevis 9 is the combined parish of St. Paul's and St. John's, and it is the identical constituency that the Premier now holds in the federal parliament. And so I intend to challenge him for that seat come whenever the federal election is called. And I don't want people to get the impression, because they hear me speak a certain way, my candidacy, Mr. Huey, is much bigger and more significant than simply opposing the present parliamentarian.
Speaking on a Freedom Radio Issues program recently, Dr. Daly declared he is not afraid of coming up against the Premier.
Now, the Premier has promised me, Mr. Huey, that once I announce, he's going to beat me like a conch, he's going to punk me like a conch, he's going to mash me up like a Irish potato. All kind of things, all kind of threats he's sending to me. Mr. Huey, I'm a fisherman. And there's a fish called a mandingo, called an old wife. Thick skin. Black like me. Let me tell you something. If he think he can punk me, well, I gonna take off the skin off of he. Just like the mandingo that's take off the skin.
He believes he can accomplish a lot for his constituency if given the chance.
Once you're in a position, you have a position of influence. I'm not elected now, Mr. Huey. I'm not elected. I'm just a regular guy in the street. Draggers and a cut-off shirt and old pants. But yet, the things I've been able to accomplish just by speaking and writing, out of government. You could imagine if I have a seat in government, nothing is off the table. Not a thing is off the table. Because then you have a bigger microphone, a bigger pulpit, a bully pulpit at which you can drive the narrative on any issue whatsoever.
Andre Huey, SKN Newsline.
Premier Mark Brantley said workers of the Four Seasons Resort will be going back to work in just a few days. Speaking at his 5th September press conference in Charlestown, Premier Brantley disclosed that Four Seasons management had confirmed the September restart of work and that the resort will be reopened in October.
I am also pleased to say that the general manager this morning confirmed that workers will be back to work on September 16th as scheduled. And so today is now the 5th, is it? And so we figure that in 11 days, the long, hard summer will be over and that workers will be going back to work at the Four Seasons Resort as scheduled. He indicates that the resort reopens on October 1st and that while they will still have some other work to do, because naturally with the construction, just like with the schools project, you have delays. They will have some additional work to do, but he said they will be receiving their first guests by October 4th. And I believe that is good news for Nevis.
Four Seasons workers will be engaged in training programs to the end of September. During the layoff, while the hotel was under extensive remodeling, the resort paid workers 25% of their salaries, with the Nevis Island administration providing financial assistance as well. Glenn Batt for SKN Newsline. The delimitation of the maritime boundary between Centre Station and St. Kitts and Nevis will be getting further attention, said Minister Ian Patches-Liebert, who has responsibility for the Department of Maritime Affairs. In early 2015, a treaty on the boundary was ready to be signed between the Federation and the Kingdom of the Netherlands, but a change in government brought a halt to those plans. At the heart of the concern, Minister Liebert explained, was that fishers from the Federation traditionally fished in waters off St. Eustatius, but those lucrative fishing grounds would become immediately off limits under the proposed maritime boundary. Minister Liebert said there needs to be a way for fishers from the Federation to have access. He also expressed concern over what he believes was inadequate consultation at the time with the Federation fishers.
When we had the consultation of fisher folks, we found that they were all surprised that this was happening, and they had concerns raised. And we had discussions. We sought advice from legal advice in terms of moving it forward. For example, instead of having a straight line division between St. Kitts and Nevis and St. Eustatius, one has to consider, I don't know if grandfathering is the right term, but if you have used those waters for all these years, generations have used the water, then there must be some consideration, right, in that regard, rather than just saying, no, you can't come here anymore as of this time. And I think, I recall, that is where we were in terms of the Netherlands, the government of the Kingdom of the Netherlands, and our position as it relates to signing off on an agreement in respect of that.
Liebert said advice had been received on the matter and St. Kitts and Nevis will continue to negotiate. Glenn Batt for SKN Newsline.
Get ready for the biggest Latin crossover event in St. Kitts. It's the 10th annual Latin Fiesta. Sunday, October 27th at the Frigate Bay Lawn, featuring Joe Ferran, Victor y la Sonora Sanjuanera, Mr. Bus Fight, and DJ Flames. Get your tickets now for only $40 until October 20th and $60 after. VIP tickets, $330 until October 13th and $360 after. Ticket outlets, Value Martin, St. Kitts and Nevis, Harper's, Mojitos, Avalon Lab, We Try, Cajola Cristana, and online LatinFestival.net. This event will be starting at 3:30 p.m. It's the 10th annual Latin Fiesta, sponsored by Cajola Cristana, Hobbs Enterprises, Carib Brewery St. Kitts and Nevis, St. Kitts Marriott Resort and the Walla Beach Casino, St. Kitts Tourism Authority, La Casa de la Habano, Dolphin Discovery, Carib Careers, Royal St. Kitts Hotel, and Caribbean Cinemas.
At Nagico, the things that matter to you matter to us. Like knowing you're fully covered after an accident, the security of your home and everything in it that means so much to you. And knowing that even when the weather does its worst, you and your family are covered. At Nagico, we're about much more than just insurance. We're about the big things and the small things that mean everything.
In today's world, so many ordinary businesses pass themselves off as something special. But what's really special is what you're looking for. Don't settle for anything less. Inspiring women to be their own kind of beautiful. Offering a comfortable place to shop for quality products and excellent service. We have everything you need. Looking for fashion? We have top quality jewelry. For makeup? We have them. Black Opal, Revlon, perfume, and much more. Lucky Cosmetics Hair and Beauty Supply Store. We carry an extensive collection of hair and beauty products to look your best. We are located at the Circus Taxi Stand, Bastyr, St. Kitts. Call us at 869-466-7541.
Meridian Medical Pharmacy is the best place to get your pharmaceutical products. We make filling prescriptions easy. Our well-stocked pharmacies are ready to serve you. Check us for medical supplies, skin products, supplements, and so much more. Ask about flu vaccines. At Meridian Medical Pharmacy, we are focused on offering a professional, personalized pharmacy experience. Our service is personal, compassionate, and friendly. Located at our state-of-the-art medical facilities at the corner of South Independence Square Street and Adlam Street, downtown Bastyr, St. Kitts. And now we have a new branch on Frigate Bay Road in the Sugars Complex. Call 465-5096 and 465-3306 or email pharmacy@meridianmedcons.com. Visit Meridian Medical Pharmacy today and experience professional, customer care and fast prescription fill-in service. Meridian Medical Pharmacy.
The names of 12 nationals of St. Kitts and Nevis were announced by Prime Minister Dr. Timothy Harris on National Heroes Day, 16 September, to receive the nation's national awards. In an address marking the occasion at the National Heroes Park at Nisbus Estate, Prime Minister Harris disclosed the names of 5 nationals for the Companion of the Star of Merit and 12 for the Medal of Honor.
His Excellency has further approved 12 honorees for the Medal of Honor. Mrs. Marilyn Gishard Bertie for Education and Religion. Mr. Lester Blackett for Sports. Mrs. Yvette Slack for Preschool Education and Community Activism. Mr. Antonio Liebert for Culture. Mr. Weber Herbert for Broadcasting. Mrs. Arabella Nisbet for Farming. Mrs. Erlene Maynard for Education, Mr. Anthony Evelyn for ongoing efforts to enhance the cause of building contractors, Miss Julietta Martin for Performing Arts and in particular dance, Mrs. Alice Swanston for Education and Community Outreach, Mr. Oswald Elliott for his role in education, and I hear loud of applause from those who attended the Kion High School, where he taught for a lengthy period, and of course the CFPC College, among other institutions of learning. Mr. Michael Mick Heiliger Stokes for musical production and art history. Let us give all of them another round of applause.
Prime Minister Harris indicated that having national heroes is important in the life of a country, and he commended the nationals for their contribution to nation building. Glenn Bart for SKN Newsline.
The opposition St. Kitts Nevis Labour Party has some reservations about the government proposed bills on term limits for the office of the Prime Minister and time stipulated in which a motion of no confidence should be brought before Parliament. In a press release issued Tuesday, just under an hour before the scheduled start of Parliament to debate the bills, the Labour Party claims it is more appropriate to limit the tenure of the Prime Minister on the basis of the number of years served, for example 8 years, rather than on the basis of the number of terms served. The party is also reminding the government that it needs its support to pass the bill, as it requires constitutional amendment and as such needs the support of the Labour Party. The party said it is fully committed to taking office after the next general election to subjecting the 1983 Constitution to a comprehensive review via referendum to limit the tenure of the Prime Minister. On the motion of no confidence bill, the Labour Party said it is inclined to support the bill if Section 46 and other provisions of the standing orders of the National Assembly dealing with the closure of debate is not applied. They argued that these provisions have been abused by the current administration to prevent the freedom of debate in the Parliament. The party said, quote, "We consider debates on motions of no confidence to have a higher significance in our democratic system of government. The government should not have the liberty to close out the debate on a motion of no confidence until all members have had an opportunity to debate it," end quote. The opposition added that it is disappointed that a bill of this nature has not come up for debate until now, after 4.5 years of the Team Unity government, and believes the bill is intended to be more about politics than about earnestly addressing the subject matter of governance. Debate in Parliament continues this week. Andre Huey, SKN Newsline.
Fans of the St. Kitts Nevis Patriots could not have asked for a better independence gift than the thrilling match that ended in a super over in the 2019 CPL T20 tournament at Warner Park. In fact, the Patriots pulled off an impressive victory over the unbeaten Trinbago Knight Riders in the second high-scoring match of the home games on the 17th of September at Warner Park. It was a match in which Patriots captain Carlos Brathwaite found his batting form in a crucial game when he struck a commanding innings along with Evan Lewis as they pursued the Trinbago Knight Riders score of 216. Tied with Knight Riders score, the match was forced into a super over in which Brathwaite showed leadership. Speaking with the media following what was arguably the most exciting match in the CPL T20 tournament so far for 2019, Brathwaite was delighted with the overall performance of his team.
To be fair, the best conversations were after the losses. It was good to see how everyone stuck together. Everyone had a drink together, whether alcoholic or non-alcoholic, and we shared our thoughts. We were honest with each other, whether it was something positive or negative, and we're creating a family in that dressing room, and I'm just proud to be leading those group of players.
Brathwaite said it was good to be able to give the Patriots fans in St. Kitts and Nevis a great independence gift and a booster going into their upcoming games.
Fans turned up here in the numbers for 5 games. We were able to give them 3 wins. Par. We would love obviously to go on away undefeated or with 4 wins, but as a team we take that. We have 3 more games on the road. We want to finish strongly, qualify into the final 4, and then is anyone's game from there.
Patriots captain Carlos Brathwaite. Glenn Bart for SKN Newsline.
Shafia Gishard, one of 2 teenage fashion designers from St. Kitts and Nevis who had a once-in-a-lifetime chance to feature their designs at the New York Fashion Week recently, said her experience was fantastic. Speaking to SK Newsline upon her return recently, Shafia described her experience as overwhelming and a proud moment.
To know how hard I worked on each design and how much effort it took to even come up with ideas. It was a good moment. I was proud of myself at that time. New York was always the dream. It was always something that I felt like will happen. it was just a matter of time to see that it happened so soon. I didn't expect it, but I mean, it's me, so I expected it.
She gave some insights into some of the things she learned from being a part of New York Fashion Week. She also said she got good feedback from patrons at the show.
Being organized and planning, they were very important. Because you have to be able to go on the timing. Everything runs on timing. You have to be able to, from the first designer to the second designer to the third designer to you, like it just ran on time. Like I never had to experience that adrenaline, that rush, and it was different. That was different for me. I think yes, there were a whole bunch of people definitely came up to me and was like, "Nice work, this was amazing, you did great." Like it was a good feedback, definitely, and from people back home too. So.
Now that she has done the New York Fashion Week, she's looking to continue her fashion designing career.
I think now I will just work on designing more and hopefully get to do this again, have this opportunity to even do something even bigger.
Shafia and Micaiah Collins were the two chosen from St. Kitts to be part of the New York Fashion Week. They got this opportunity through an event called the PDMA Fashion Show held in St. Kitts last year October, organized by Keys Village-based seamstress Vanessa Matthews.
Initially, the business was started for me just to really sew for dancers, because I realized that there was nobody specializing in or taking keen interest in the dancers. So my intention was to make all that they needed, the props, their garments, shoes, so on and so forth. But I realized that once person's here, a sewing machine going off in your house or anywhere near, the figure that you can sew. I was able, with the help of Mr. Nigel Farrell, to invite Mr. Glenroy Marsh, the founder and owner of the Marsh Couture in New York. So he came and he was our invited designer, and with his help he was able to award both participants the opportunity to go to New York this year, this September, to Fashion Week 2019, and I just can't be any happier. I just can't be any happier, because knowing that these two young ladies went to, I would call, pinnacle of designing in just a snap, just like that, just taking part in a growing show, and it has taken them to a really high level and has whet the taste bud.
Shafia thanked Ms. Matthews, as well as others who have helped to make this opportunity possible.
I would like to thank God for giving me the strength and the energy and just placing the opportunity, because if it wasn't for him, then none of this would have happened. And I would like to thank my friends and family for the love and support from everyone back home. And I would like to thank the government for the support too. Yes, and everyone that supported the fundraising efforts. Ms. Vanessa, I would like to thank you so much. This would not be even possible without you either. So thank you.
Andre Huey, SKN Newsline. Now you can have SKN Newsline on the go. Introducing SKN Newsline Android mobile app. Search SKN Newsline in the Google Play Store. Download the app free and stay up to date with TV news in St. Kitts and Nevis in the palm of your hands. With this app, you can watch your news reports, watch our live news feed on SKN Newsline TV, engage with us and other app users in the chat room, look at our special features, send us news tips, and call us directly. It's news on the go. The SKN Newsline Android mobile app. Download it free today.
Banners, commercial signs, decal printing, canvas prints, license plates, posters. We at Multigraphics are dedicated to providing quality products and service to our customers. Our team takes pride in the craftsmanship and is passionate about its work. Every job, large or small, is important. Most of our customers come to us through referrals. That's because our number one priority is service. We serve a wide variety of customers, such as restaurants, retail stores, manufacturers, trucking companies, and many more. Our capabilities include design, production, and installation. How can we help? We are located at Bird Rock at the Woods Right compound. Call us at 869-763-1511 or 784-491-7599. Multi-Graphics.
Online radio has never been this great. It's Voice of the Caribbean Radio at voiceofthecaribbean.net. Tune in for Caribbean music and programs, news, sports, entertainment, vibrant discussions, and much more. Tune into programs like Get Up Mornings with Carl D. Springett, live on weekday mornings. Let's Talk St. Kitts and Nevis with Andre Huey. The Caribbean News Hour and The Quiet Storm with Magic Man. Tune in to great music to inspire you each day, only on Voice of the Caribbean Radio at www.voiceofthecaribbean.net or on our Android mobile app in the Google Play Store. Just search Voice of the Caribbean. We're also on TuneIn Radio. Voice of the Caribbean Radio, reaching the Caribbean and beyond. Check our website for program listings.
For all your printing needs at top-notch quality, go to Digital Print Plus, located on Princess Street, Bastyr, St. Kitts. At Digital Print Plus, you get the best in business cards, letterheads, envelopes, wristbands, tent cards, rack cards, flyers, brochures, logo designs, posters, photos, architectural designs, 3D renderings, and so much more. Digital Print Plus gives you the best quality at competitive prices. Contact us at 767-7468 or email digitalprintskn@gmail.com or follow us on Facebook at digitalprintskn. Digital Print Plus for all your printing needs at the best quality. Latin Festival 2019 was officially launched on Thursday night at Mojitos at Port Zante with special focus on the 10th anniversary of the Latin Fiesta. Chairman of the Latin Festival Committee and founder of the event, Jose Rosa, in a short address highlighted the importance of Latin Festival to the entertainment calendar in St. Kitts and Nevis.
This is a milestone. 10 years is a milestone, especially when it's a festival that is not in a native language of the country. Okay, it's a Latin festival that most of the artists that plays in the events, their first language is Spanish. Means that is a meaningful for us that people in St. Kitts and Nevis have been able to adopt that festival as one of the more important festivals of St. Kitts and Nevis, and I think they deserve an applause for that.
The importance of this event to tourism has not gone unnoticed, and Permanent Secretary of Tourism, Mrs. Carleen Henry Morton, was present at the launch, along with Tourism Minister Lindsay Grant. Mrs. Morton said that events like Latin Festival help with boosting regional tourism to St. Kitts.
The Ministry of Tourism and the St. Kitts Tourism Authority, we have supported this festival from its inception, as Jose said, particularly since we have always felt that the festival has a strong potential to attract visitors to the Federation, and over the years, the festival has indeed generated positive media coverage about St. Kitts. This event was perfectly timed to fit into the shoulder period in the tourism season, where hotel occupancy tends to be a little lower than we would prefer. So Latin Festival then is a much welcomed activity and a perfect opportunity to drive additional visitors to the destination and to drive that economic activity that would tide us over until tourism season really kicks in. Many of you may not be aware of this, but the Caribbean is the second biggest source market for St. Kitts. The Caribbean is actually second only to US visitor arrivals to St. Kitts.
Meanwhile, Adelake Rodriguez, co-chairman of the Latin Festival Committee, spoke about the calendar of events of Latin Festival 2019.
The week of activities starts on October 21st with the presentation of this year's Latin movie named Casi Fiel. Casi Fiel means in English almost faithful. And it's the story of a womanizer that is forced to change his lifestyle when his long-time girlfriend become pregnant. So I invite you to see it. It's a comedy for the whole family, so you can carry your children as well. So it's only 50 easy for the tickets are available. You can buy it here today, or you can contact any of the Latin Festival committee members, or at Cayola Cristal. You can get the tickets for only 50 easy. This will be October 21st at Caribbean Cinema, starting at 7:30 p.m. On Wednesday, October 23rd, the Latin Festival joined forces with the Senkes Craft House, and we'll be doing art workshop with with 4 high schools in Senkes. And this year, our objective with the art craft workshop is to promote the local talent and make sure that we provide another platform to display our local artisans' work.
The Latin Festival culminates with Latin Fiesta on October 27th, 2019 at the Frigate Bay Lawns. Andre Huey, SKN Newsline.
The matter of an alleged breach of security at the Robert L. Bradshaw International Airport by Minister Ian Patrice-Libbard has resurfaced, this time as a consequence of a circulating video showing the alleged breach. The video's date and timestamps show 30th March at 14:26 or 2:26 p.m. The video shows a corridor that contains a metal detector. It is an area apparently dedicated to staff who work on the ramp at the airport. It is believed that it is the intent that all persons must be security checked before entering the ramp area. As such, a security officer does a physical check on each person as well. In the video, that seems to be the process that is being followed. About 19 seconds into the video, Minister Libbard and airport officials appear in frame, standing at the back waiting their turn through the metal detector. Several workers pass through the security checks before a senior airport official subjects himself to the checks. During that process, Minister Libbard passes through the metal detector, tied in shirt and shorts, as well as an ID card attached to his shirt. He walks past the airport official being checked by the security officer. The female security officer notices, turns around and appears to speak briefly to the minister. Her gestures seem to suggest that she will be with him shortly to have him checked as well. The minister stands by the exit door and is seen gesturing to the second airport official, who has not passed through the metal detector as yet. After that airport official is checked, the security officer returns to Minister Libbard and appears to speak with him. They are almost out of the video frame, standing at the ramp's door, before she returns in full view, and the minister exits from view through the door, followed by the second airport official. The rest of the video shows various ramp workers passing through the checkpoint. It must be noted that SK Newsline contacted Minister Ian Patrice-Libbard, who responded indicating that he was off island and on his return will speak with this media house on the matter. It is not certain if the minister had certain courtesies extended to him as minister in charge of SCASPA, and SK Newsline will seek clarity on this matter. Glenn Bard for SK Newsline.
Meanwhile, SK Newsline contacted Mr. Donald MacPhail, Director General of the Eastern Caribbean Civil Aviation Authority, on what international civil aviation requirement dictates in matters like these. He said requirements of the International Civil Aviation Organization indicate that anyone who accesses a security-restricted area must be screened prior to being allowed entry into that area. However, while this is the general requirement, he noted that particular states may extend certain courtesies to government officials. Mr. MacPhail said he is not familiar with the St. Kitts and Nevis Aviation Security Program, but said any state can dictate how it would adhere to the international civil aviation procedures and practices, which would inform the airport security program. He noted, however, that once a person is authorized to go into a restricted area, they must wear the relevant ID issued by the relevant authorities. He said persons can be exempted from screenings, and this is extended mostly to heads of states, heads of government, and may be extended to government ministers. Andre Huey, SKN Newsline.
The past passage of Tropical Storm Karen has sparked quite a controversy between the St. Kitts Nevis Labour Party and the People's Action Movement regarding the construction of the Old Road Bay Road. Ambassador Steve Rensford, the St. Kitts Nevis Labour Party candidate for Constituency 4, allegedly claims that the Old Road Rehabilitation Road project has been negatively affected as a result of heavy seas from the passage of Tropical Storm Karen, which passed from the coastline of St. Kitts. Mr. Rensford accused the government of starting the project without an environmental impact assessment and disclosed that residents in the area have complained that their houses are now being flooded where they have never been flooded before. However, the contractor for the All Road Bay project, Mr. Alexis Hazel, the Chief Executive Officer of Rock and Dirt Limited, states otherwise.
What you can see here, if you can look at here, this is exactly how we left it before we even had the tropical depression, or the storm, if you want to call it a storm. I want to explain something on this design for you guys who are looking. What we have here is something that will give you a better picture. These are 2 20-ton rock. The largest rock we ever approached a project in St. Kitts to do revetment work. We have 2 large 20-ton rocks, and actually we have another 20-ton on it. It's a special design to break the water. As the swells come in, it breaks the water. That's why you don't see it splashing up in the air and coming all over in the road.
Furthermore, Mr. Hazel noted that the high winds, rain, and storm surges that affected the country over the recent days presented them the perfect opportunity to test the effectiveness of the project's design and capacity.
There is no damage whatsoever on this project. What we had the past couple of days, it's a blessing. Once you're doing a project of this nature, what you want to happen, you want to get a test, right? So you get a better feel of how the design gonna react towards what we're trying to accomplish here. And the design hold up perfect. The reason why I'm saying that, because I had, with this rough water we had for 2 days, I had absolutely 0 damage.
Meanwhile, Lindsay Grant, the parliamentary representative for Constituency 4, refuted the claims by Mr. Rensford, noting that the residents living right on the edge of the road were not affected in any way by the storm surge and are in fact thankful for the project.
This project really is 25 years overdue, and so we are happy that we could find the money, given the good financial state of our economy, to be able to do this, because this is going to be a project that will benefit us for the next 20-30 years.
The Old Road Bay is normally considered dangerous for motorists, especially during adverse weather conditions due to rock falls from the neighboring hillside and storm surges on the seaside. After the passage of Hurricane Maria in 2017, the road was impassable for hours as it was completely compromised by the storm. Rock falls have also led to accidents, which in some cases have taken lives. According to Minister of Public Infrastructure Kion, the new road will be extended on the reclaimed land and be approximately 24 feet apart from the existing road. It will also be elevated some 15 feet above the current road and hang guardrails on both sides. The seaside protection will include strong rocks armoring featuring large 10 and 20-ton boulders. The project commenced in January and is estimated to cost $31.8 million. Zafi Alder reporting for SKN Newsline.
The St. Kitts and Nevis Under-23 football team was defeated 2-0 by the Dominican Republic at the Warner Park on Sunday in the CONCACAF Olympic qualifiers, ending any chance of the young Sugar Boys making it to Tokyo 2020. The home side had an early chance to score the first goal of the match when Nifty passed in outside the 18-yard box, and a through pass gave Javon Amory a great chance to notch one in an open goal. But the ball hit the goal post, much to the chagrin of the fans. St. Kitts and Nevis fell to 10 men at the brink of halftime when Salah Connonier was sent off in the 45th minute with a straight red card after a bad tackle on his opponent. In the second half, the visitors pressed high up the pitch and placed the home side under some pressure. But with one man short, the young Sugar Boys defended resolutely, though the goalkeeper almost gave up a goal in saving a ball from a corner kick. In the end, it took extra time before any goal was scored, when Ronaldo Jr. Vasquez scored in the 96th minute and Dorney Romero Chalas in the 102nd minute. Those goals were enough to seal the win for the Dominican Republic, who now move on to the final stages of the competition and one step closer in qualifying for the Olympics next year. At the end of the match, Coach Earl Jones of St. Kitts and Nevis surmised that his boys played with heart, but ruled the missed chances in the first half.
If you look at it, we went down, we got a red card early in the game, and I think that contributed to our loss tonight. I mean, also, we had our only chances, we didn't put them away, and karma just come around. That's how we go sometimes.
Yeah. What do you tell your players when these kind of difficulties arise? What's the role of a coach?
Yeah, it's just to encourage them. It's just to encourage them. That's the game. Okay, we go down 10 men. We lost a man. We still have to fight. The game ain't done. The game we still have to play to the end. I mean, that's the game. Okay, so but we'll group and come back.
Now, what next for the team? What are you going to be engaged in over the next few months?
Well, hopefully we keep the bunch together and we continue practicing. I think this is our last game for the tournament, and we just have to keep practicing and keep the group together, because I do think it's a good bunch of guys. They've been playing together for a long time, since the under 17s, under 20 level, now the U23, and for me, I just say this is the national team. More than half of them represented in the last 2 games we played in Grenada. We also came here and played against French Ghana. I mean, that's how it goes,
Despite the loss, the young Sugar Boys will hold their heads high after a valiant effort at home against the Dominican Republic. Data collected on air pollution in St. Kitts and Nevis shows that some areas are highly polluted. Some students of the Clarence Fitzroy Brand College, CFBC, together with students from the University of Central Florida, UCF, conducted a research project on air and water quality in St. Kitts and Nevis during the summer and collated the data from the activity. SK Newsline, in a previous report, spoke to students from the University of Central Florida while they were on the island, and recently spoke to 3 of the students from the CFBC who worked on the project. Each shared what they garnered from the research and how it can benefit St. Kitts and Nevis.
My name is John Wynne Watson, a natural science student at CFBC. Based on the data collected, now we know that the air is not completely clean, so we are now aware, well, at least we know we are aware that the air is polluted in certain areas.
Some of the data collected showed high pollution in some areas, and from this information we could find a solution to counteract these problems.
I think that this data could help St. Kitts, because our data basically it showed that St. Kitts wasn't very polluted in terms of like air and water wise, but it could help us to know that we shouldn't really focus on tourism only. We could also do stuff like farming, like stuff that would like help the environment, but not take away from the environment.
The students used a drone to gather air pollution data in certain areas, including South Frigate Bay, North Frigate Bay, Port Zante, the Connery area next to the landfill, Keys Beach, Charlestown Port in Nevis, and the Nevis landfill. They each shared their experience of how this research project impacted them.
This experiment was beneficial to me because it helps me personally to develop lab skills like recording data, using tools and all of that. And that's important to me because if I go away to study, those will help me. I won't have to learn those over again.
The information that we collected will help me in my SBAs as it is needed.
We enjoyed having the UCF students. They were fairly nice. We had a nice time flying the drones and going on WinFM and actually going out into the field collecting data.
Meanwhile, Dr. Quincy Edwards, chemistry lecturer at the CFBC, explained how the research project came about.
CFBC UCF Summer Research Project. So this research project is actually conceptualized by the Initiative of America, connecting the continents. So in 2008, Professor Hamilton and also Professor Stebbins from the University of Central Florida, they came to St. Kitts and Nevis basically to plan this research project. So best thing about them coming to St. Kitts and Nevis is that they're able to see different areas in which we can sample for air quality and also for water quality, which is of a big concern to both the Caribbean region and also the United States of America.
Dr. Edwards explained that 4 students from the UCF, mostly science students, and a mass communication student, including CFBC and Nevis Sixth Form students, took part in the project. They spent a week on the research and were able to enjoy the project while learning from other students of different cultural backgrounds. Andre Huey, SKN Newsline.